What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Leave House, Head Home. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about Parshas Shelach and a bit of something that was on my mind about what we think the Gedolim and the leaders of communities should be doing in regards to Eretz Yisrael. So let's start out with a comment I have on a video I've seen. So this Sunday, Rabbi Moshe Weinberger from Eish Kodesh of Woodmere, many of you guys have heard of him. He's a big mashpia. He has very well respected Rav, and he started his shiur. They were learning a certain sefer, and then 2 minutes in, he started connecting it to moving to Eretz Yisrael, and then brought in Parshas Shelach and the MERAGLIM, which wasn't the initial goal. And at the end of the video, he goes like, "Oh, I don't know how we got here. Okay, well, we'll pick up where we left off next time." And he goes on for 40 minutes about essentially, what are we doing in Chutz La'aretz? Am Yisrael belongs in Eretz Yisrael. That's where we really are truly one nation. And it was something that you don't hear a lot of rabbis that live in Chutz La'aretz talk about. So it was kind of shocking, but I do think it's starting to come to a head where people are actually, even though they live here, saying, "Hey guys, what are we doing?" And that was literally this video. And I want to connect it in my own way to my thoughts on Parshas Shelach. But I can just give you a couple of points that he's made, such as, maybe you're a Rav and you have a cushy job here, and you want to stay, or you built a big home, or you're building these big shuls. And he goes through essentially why he thinks we don't belong here, and we either get pushed to Eretz Yisrael or get pulled there. So let's go when there's still the pull and not the major push. I'm going to link the video in the show notes, or at least try to, so you guys can get a full taste of that. But essentially, he was saying pretty powerfully, and even with a couple of funny jokes, that we need to head to Eretz Yisrael. So, the question of, should a Rav stay behind and tell his congregation to go, let's move, or should he go lead by example? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get to Parshas Shelach. So this is the Parsha for Aliyah advocates to really dive into. There's not really a way to get around it. You could talk about tzitzis and challah and other mitzvos that are brought down in the Parsha, but in the end of the day, the elephant is in the room is that the Jews spoke badly about Eretz Yisrael, the spies, and then the Jews complained and said, "We would be better off in Mitzrayim. Why did you take us here?" And they were crying, and Hashem said, "You guys cried, I'll give you a reason to cry." And that day that they cried was Tisha B'Av, and we know that the two Batei Mikdashim, the Beis HaMikdash, were destroyed on Tisha B'Av, and we had so many tragedies throughout. And if they had just gone into Eretz Yisrael without complaining, they would have had the Beis HaMikdash, and they would have been able to enjoy Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael in the way that it is ultimately meant to be. My thought is, similar to last week's Parsha, where the Bnei Yisrael complained about getting meat, and then Hashem was like, "I'll give you so much meat, it's going to be coming out of your nose and you'll be disgusted," which seemed, I was like, the Jews scorned the spirituality that they had in the Midbar, and they wanted physicality. And so then I'm like, well, what's wrong with that? So they wanted some meat, or they're scared about going to Eretz Yisrael. And I think there's three concepts. The first one is a lack of gratitude. What about thank you, Hashem, for the delicious man? We would love if we can get some meat. Yeah, people want their earthly permissible pleasures met, and that's totally fine. But to say, in both instances, we would be better off, take us back to Mitzrayim, when Hashem literally just did 10 makos, split the sea, brought you out, is bringing you to the promised land where the avos are buried, where Yosef made Bnei Yisrael promised to take his bones out and bury him in Eretz Yisrael. You're finally getting there, and instead of going in and saying, it's hard, Hashem, we're scared, help us, but let's do it, and thank you for bringing us to the promised land, there was a complete lack of gratitude. And as Bnei Yisrael and Jews, literally, we have the word Jew, comes from Yehud, Yehudah, Todah, which is thanks to Hashem. And when a Jew isn't grateful for everything Hashem gave us, we are in big trouble. And I think that was the ultimate spitting in the face of Hashem, to not be grateful for everything that he did, and to say, let's go back to Egypt, where they were literally slaves, instead of going into the holiest land and going into literally what would have been the promised land for us. So that's my message on the Parsha. I think that we all have to be grateful for where we're at, for all the enjoyment we get in Chutz La'aretz, but let's make our way to Eretz Yisrael, even though it is hard work. No one's denying that, but Hashem will help us get there. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget, leave house, head home to Eretz Yisrael, and I will see you guys in the next one.